Watch what women actually do rather than listen to what they have to say. This is one of the most important factors that contribute to the success of women. She wants to be with a nice person who is kind to her and takes good care of her, but instead she goes out with a guy who doesn't care about her at all and is only interested in having sexual relations with her on the first date or night they spend together. They continue on. After that, she will get involved with a guy who is only interested in having sexual relations with her, doesn't treat her very well, and doesn't care about her at all. However, if a man uses that tactic to try to interest her and convince her to go on a date with him, she will most likely reject his advances and refuse to go out with him. If you were to ask a woman what it is that she wants in a man, she might respond by saying, "I want a great guy who is sweet and attentive and treats me well and takes me on sweet dates." As a consequence of this, the things that she says and the things that she does are polar opposites. Relationships are the same way. He ought to shower me with exquisite jewelry, take me on a multitude of vacations and holidays, and in general treat me like a princess. In point of fact, the vast majority of women are hesitant to acknowledge the fact that they enjoy their lives to the fullest when they are in a committed relationship with a man who makes them feel like good girls. If you ask a woman what she wants from a man, she will tell you that he should help her with housekeeping, that he should cook for her, that he should give her sensual massages, that he should listen to all of her concerns, and that he should always be there for her. If you ask a man what he wants from a woman, he will tell you that he should give her sensual massages. As a consequence, being a good wife to one's husband is a source of joy and contentment for that person. As a result, she enjoys preparing meals for her husband. She enjoys cleaning for him. She enjoys doing thoughtful things for her husband. She enjoys satisfying his physical desires, and she delights in being a nice wife for her husband. Even though most women don't publicly declare that they want to be nice women to men, they almost unanimously agree that they don't want to be decent women to men. When a woman is in a relationship with a man who turns on the good girl switching her mind, this is what makes them happy. Doing kind things for him truly brings her joy and happiness. She enjoys cooking for him. She likes to tease him, and she wants to be a proper lady for him. She does enjoy giving him fellatio, but you won't hear most women say this. They will claim that men are required to essentially prostrate themselves before women, and that they must do everything in their power to buy women everything they require in order to suck up to them, in the hope that if they suck up to them for a long enough period of time, they will be rewarded with action and she will be good to them. It will also claim that men are required to treat women as if they are beneath them. There is nothing wrong with a man going out his way to please his lady. However, what a lot of women don't realize is that when they're in a relationship, they're happiest when they're with a man who flips what I like to call the good girl's switch in her mind. This is something that a lot of women don't realize until they've been in a relationship for a while. She finds happiness and satisfaction in being a good wife to him and in the relationship they share. Therefore, keep in mind that there is typically a significant gap between what women say and what they actually do with regard to males in the context of romantic relationships. There is absolutely nothing wrong with a man preparing meals for his family, and there is also absolutely nothing wrong with a man pitching in to help out around the house. Another illustration of this is when women make statements such as, "I don't like it when men approach me, so could you please just leave me alone?" No one communicates with her until a self-assured man walks up to her and inquires about how she is doing. She made her introductions and inquired about my well-being before leaving. She does this in a thoughtful manner. After that, he inquires about her phone number and obtains it from her. She'll say things like, "I don't give out my phone number," or "guys aren't supposed to chat to women," or anything like that. Some, on the other hand, is entirely open and will reveal secrets that women prefer not to disclose with men. The majority of women express themselves in ways that are diametrically opposed to what they desire. So when a woman offers you dating and relationship advice, take it seriously. However, it is ineffective, for instance, if a man asks a group of ladies how can he get this girl to like him. "I have a crush on a girl who doesn't appear to want anything more than a friendship." Women will tell men things like, "Just be nicer to her. Get to know her better, be patient with her, and be helpful to her," and other such nonsense. So the man does what the woman suggests, and he ends up being really kind to her, and he ends up being a friend. He is immediately placed in the friend zone, and she has no interest in having a personal relationship with him. She has feelings of affection for him as a person, and she regards him highly as a friend. She may even be extremely pleasant to him. However, she has no interest in having sexual relations with him. Then another guy comes along and quickly attracts her attention, so when they go out on their first date, she kisses him or sleeps with him. When a man is married and his wife is no longer affectionate, he might ask other women for advice on how he can entice her to be loving. In most cases, they will tell him to do things for her such as clean the house, rub her feet with jewels, take her out to dinner, and take her on date nights. The individual goes out and performs those actions, but what does he get in return for his efforts? Because of this, the majority of the time he gets the same result, which makes his wife even more irritated because she watches her husband try all of these things in the vain hope that he will finally succeed in getting laid properly. She does not want her marriage to have the kind of dynamic in which her partner feels obligated to do everything for her and buy her things in order to coax her into appropriate behavior. She would like to have a natural feeling of respect and desire for him, and she would like for those feelings to come about on their own. It is not because he is required to pander to her every whim, buy her presents, do the dishes, and clean the house in order to keep his relationship with her intact. According to the findings of a study carried out in the United States, if you pay attention to what women have to say, you will almost invariably end up in the wrong place. On their first date, sexual activity occurred for 55% of all couples. Another study conducted in Europe discovered that 70% of women have allegedly participated in a one-night stand at some point in their lives. This is despite the fact that women frequently assert that they did not engage in sexual activity on the first night of a relationship, on the first date, or on the second day of a relationship. When it comes to dating and having relationships with women, it is important to keep in mind that the majority of women will say one thing but then do something very different from what they said. They will typically advise you that in order for a guy to get a girl's attention, he must first become her friend, demonstrate patience, and make an effort to be extremely pleasant. After that, nothing will happen for weeks or months. According to the statistics, the vast majority of women have engaged in sexual activity on their very first date or the very first night they meet a guy. When it comes to dating and having relationships with women, it is important to keep in mind that the majority of women will say one thing but then do something very different from what they said. Listening to what women say will typically lead you astray when it comes to dating and relationships, because the majority of women do not reveal the secrets of what makes them feel attracted to a man. What I want you to remember is to focus on what women do rather than what they say, because listening to what women say will typically lead you astray when it comes to dating and relationships. By the way, please don't misunderstand me and think that I'm advocating for men to be cruel to women. It is expected of him that he will be courteous and trustworthy. When it comes to a disseminated version that has been filtered to ensure that it is politically correct, and it is one that they are not ashamed to admit. If men don't educate themselves and believe the false information that women give them, they will either find themselves in the friend zone, in a polyamorous relationship, or in a marriage in which they will be cheated on. They are kicked out, and as a result, they end up getting a divorce. Men and women frequently say something that is completely contradictory to what they actually want and do, which is the topic of the video that you are about to watch. That could be because a woman is unwilling to reveal what it is that she really wants, or it could be because she does not want to teach a man how to attract her and make her happy. Both of those reasons are possibilities. She is looking for a man who is capable of figuring things out on his own and who does not need her to direct him. It will be embarrassing for most women to admit that they like a guy who doesn't chase them around as much as they make him want to be with them, and they will have to put in a lot of effort to impress him and keep his interest. However, some women may find that this type of man is more attractive than one who does pursue them. The majority of women aren't going to express it because they are afraid that it will be misconstrued, such as in the case of her unwillingness to teach a man what she requires. This is why most women don't express it. She does not want to be in a position where she has to explain to a man, for example, how she would like him to react in a relationship if she were to throw a fit and start behaving badly toward him. She doesn't want to have to teach him how to be a strong man in a relationship with a woman because she doesn't want to get herself a man who doesn't know how to be a strong man in a relationship with a woman. And she doesn't want to have to teach him for the rest of their lives together. She doesn't want to have to teach him that. That is something she would rather not have to explain to him. If you listen to women's suggestions regarding dating and relationships, you should keep in mind that they will steer you in the wrong direction. You'll have to take me out on pricey dinner dates before you get any activity. If it's true that most women can't be honest about their true desires, then you shouldn't listen to what they say about how all men must be tall, gorgeous, and have six-pack abs, and that in a partnership a man must do all the housework. Also, don't believe what they say about how a man must do all the housework. That's not true. That's nonsense.